Wow, what a peaceful morning. Beautiful morning it is. I love all the moss on the trees. Hey everyone, and welcome back. I am at the Dawn Creek waterfall. I'm going to find it. You know, this is another spot in Marin County that I've never been to. It's in the canyon up from Larkspur, the town of Larkspur in Marin County. I know if you follow this trail, you can literally walk all the way to the top of Mount Tam. But we had some pretty substantial rain last night, like 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches of rain. And I've always wanted to come up here, so I thought I'd come up here now because of the waterfall and the rain, and should be an enjoyable thing to do. So come along, let's go check out the trail and the waterfall. Got a nice little bridge here, little troll bridge. It's very quiet here. There's hardly anybody up here. Okay, Dawn Falls Trail. Wow. Look at this opening here. Pretty amazing. And this whole stump is covered with lichen. We might even see a banana slug. I'll keep my eyes open. Look at this one. Pretty cool, huh? I tell you, Marin County is a beautiful place. There's a lot of beautiful nature in this place, and that's why people want to live here. But man, it's nice. Let me show you the map that I'm looking at here. So we're here. We're going to go up here to Dawn Falls. But you can see all the trails around here. This is interesting. I don't know what this ladybug trail. Private property, stay on trail, King Mountain Loop. I won't be doing that today, but maybe in the future. So we're just going to go up here and check it out. And this Hokuiku Trail, I know for a fact, goes to Mount Tam, if you follow it all the way up. Here's some great advice. Safety tip. Take a picture of the map. You know what? I'm going to do that. It's a great idea. You know, I wanted to give a shout out to one of my subscribers and friends of mine that I've known. I've known her close to 45 years, I think. And she lived in this canyon that we drove up. And it was funny. I still am really much into heavy metal music. And back then, the Ride the Lightning album had just come out. And I would blast that in my car and pull up to her house in that canyon. And her favorite song was Fade to Black. It's one of my favorite songs too, by Metallica. And that's a memory I have of this Larkspur. Interesting, these little stubs here, and the birds were checking it out too. But look at these houses. How would you like to live up there on a house on stilts? I'd be a little concerned if a major earthquake hit that your whole house is just going to fall over. That's just me personally. You can hear the birds that listen. God, this is a really pretty area. Jeez. And there was a fire here at some point. Man, this is nice. I'm glad I brought some gloves because it is cold here. I'm here early in the morning. There's little nooks there. Another redwood that was a victim of a fire, looks like. This one here. But you know, that fire could have been 75 years ago. You don't know. Because redwoods is so fire resistant. Pretty amazing place. You know, I always laugh. It's like, I'm sure all you watching this, you know, you live in your area or the place where you grew up and you're like, oh yeah, I know that area. But there's always a place that you've never been to. And this is one of them. It's crazy. Because I've literally lived here for 55 years and never been on this particular part of Marin County. This is, you know, this trail or whatever you call it. And it looks like at one point it was fenced off. So this may have been private property at one point. Not anymore. Came across another log just covered with lichen. Still looking for a elusive banana slug because this is a perfect morning to see one of them. Damp and moist. I love a person that's lazy enough they can pick their dog poop up, but oh, I don't want to bring it back down. This is a great time of day to come in the morning. Got all the morning light coming through. Yeah, look at that. The light coming through the trees there. You can see my breath. Ready? The mist. The mist of my breath. All right. We'll keep trekking along. Another stunningly beautiful part of the trail with the morning light coming through. Get the light green moss on the redwoods there. The one thing I can't let you experience on this video is the air. The air here is so fresh, especially after the rain. It's like if you could can some air, you'd want to can this air. Actually, people do. You can buy canned air in China. I know that because there's parts of China that is air quality is so bad you can buy canned air. There's a little, someone made kind of a little structure down here. I'm gonna go check it out. Looks like something I would have did when I was a teenager. Try to make a tree fort in the woods. So quiet here. Yeah, I encourage everybody watching this video to get out in nature, because wherever you live, there's got to be some nature. A park, a forest, something, because it really does like heal your soul. It resets your body and mind, because this is really what the world is about, not all the chaos that we created around us. Another stunning view of the trees and the sunlight. Okay, looks like we already made it to the Ladybug Trail. Is that way. And the Dawn Falls Trail is this way. So we're heading in the right way. Right direction, I should say. Certainly a lot of beautiful streams and bridges that cross the streams. I think this is the 4th bridge. And there's a warning sign here. Hazardous natural condition ahead. But it's interesting, it doesn't tell you what kind of hazardous natural condition. Maybe the trail is steep. We're going to find out. A little fun fact about redwood trees. If you haven't heard, you see how this is like a little grove? It's like literally a family of trees. They tend to grow in these little clusters or families. Oh, we're getting, this must be the hazardous part. It's another family of trees, grove. Man, some fresh air, folks. Some fresh air. And these all have this light green moss on them, which is kind of unusual, to be honest. I haven't seen a lot of redwood trees with that kind of moss on them. Look at this, a little natural drinking spot for a deer or maybe a dog if it's the one to jump up there. Of course, you gotta have rain to fill it. Hey, Pooch. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Great day, huh?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's like spring today.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's nuts.
Amazing.
Have a good one.
You too. Another little spot. Now the banging you hear is someone up in the top of the hill. Sounds like a, working on their house or something. It's not a woodpecker. Here's a little gauntlet of redwood trees. I just talked to a guy that like literally graduated from the same high school a year after me. Had the same like background. We lived a couple blocks apart. He was telling me that he on a big health kick. He's running up and down this canyon. And then he lost like 35 pounds in the last 6 months. So it's inspiring because as I told you in a previous video, my goal is to lose weight and get healthy. So unfortunately the running part I can't do because my varicose veins in my legs are real bad, and running actually makes them worse. So, but I wanted to tell you about these switchbacks. So there's these kind of steep switchbacks here, and they go up the hill. According to the guy I just met, switchbacks last about 5 minutes and then the waterfalls appear. But so, and if you're thinking about timing, I've been walking probably a half hour so far, and I'm almost there. So let's keep going. Well, pardon me for my heavy breathing, because the switchbacks kicked my ass. But this is the waterfall. It's not raging. I imagine it was dry before the rain last night. But definitely beautiful. Sun's coming up on the hills over there, cutting through the trees. And there's like a brick path up here. I guess I'll go up there a little bit and check this whole area out. Pretty good drop down there. I will not get in too close to the edge. And some little trickling brooks here cutting through the rocks. But definitely a peaceful place to come. The guy I just spoke with, he told me that if you come here after a big storm, which we're supposed to be getting on Sunday, then the whole canyon is like a river and it's raging, and it's just totally different than what's going on today. So I might have to do that in the future and come back when it's raging. But today's been very peaceful and beautiful, as you can see. I'm going to just be quiet for a minute or so, just so you can experience the silence and the sounds of nature. I'm still yet to find the elusive banana slug. Love these steps. And probably the California Conservation Corps built them. The California Conservation Corps is you can sign up at a very young age, before you're legal to work, basically, and they teach you how to work. Basically, it's like kindergarten or play school for the work environment. And one of my brothers did it, and they basically, you're out here making trails with pickaxes and cutting down trees and stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff was built by those young guys. I'm sorry, I left out the girls too. Probably some gals in there too. There's some white um, fungus, lichen, whatever you want to call it. I love the ferns. I've always loved ferns. And that's probably due to my mom, because she loved ferns. This is an example of what happens when we get a big storm. It all gets clogged up. And they have to come in and chainsaw stuff out of the way so the water can flow. All right. So we're going to start our way back down. And look closely for a banana slug. And just before I make my way down, I wanted to point out these switchbacks go back and forth straight up that canyon. So it's very steep. So you're not going to be bringing no baby stroller up there. That's for sure. Look at this spot right here. Sun coming through the trees. Birds singing. So the guy that I met on the trail running up here, and we went to school almost the same time. Same schools and everything. He told me this rock is his sacred rock. And he runs up here and he touches the rock. So he told me to make sure I touch it before I leave. So I'm going to see if we get some energy from the rock. Feels nice. I wanted to tell you the story of the hat I'm wearing. This hat is the logo for the skunk steam train in Fort Bragg in Willits, California. And when I was a little kid, and I still love trains, but when I was a little kid, I loved trains, and particularly steam locomotives. And I have a picture of me standing next to the locomotive during the bicentennial year. Yep, folks, 1976. So if you do the math, I was born in 65, so I was 11. And I had a down jacket on, kind of like this, but it was orange. But I used to beg my mom to take me up there, and we didn't have a lot of money, so it must have been a big deal to do that. So I went up there, and a few years ago, went to the store and saw the train come in. I didn't ride the train, but I bought this hat. So that's the story of the skunk train hat. Okay, I gotta explain why it's called the skunk train. It's called the skunk train because back in the olden days, they would have a wood stove inside the parlor cars that people sat in. And the combination of the steam, smoke, and the smell of that created what people described as a type of a skunk smell, a light skunk smell. And that's why they call it the skunk train. I mean, look at this, the way the sun's coming through and hitting the moss on the trees and the rays of sunlight. You can't get much more beautiful than that, I'll tell you. Okay, this is just, it just keeps getting more beautiful. Now I'm walking towards the sun. Going up the canyon. It was at my back, but look at it just coming through the trees here. So peaceful, so quiet. I've only seen 4 people the whole time I've been hiking. Check out the spider webs that are in the sun. Look at these spider webs here in the sun. This guy's working on one. And this guy is a different kind of spider. He makes his nest, his webs, like a giant sheet. It's a totally different way of doing it. This guy, you see this guy's spider there? And he makes his web like a giant sheet. And then this guy's working hard at building his web so he can have some breakfast soon. Guess what I discovered? The elusive banana slug. I wanted to thank everyone for coming with me on this little hike to Dawn Falls and the Madrone Canyon here in Larkspur. It's a beautiful place that I'm definitely going to have to come back to. If you guys are liking what I'm doing, I film all over the Bay Area. Whatever I'm doing, I'm into. I'm going to bring you guys along. Sometimes I go outside of the Bay Area. And what else? Oh, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee and help support the channel, there's a link in the description. You can do that. I appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.